Hi everyone! So today, last week rather, I was pretty cautious. I was very cautious when it comes to trading because, as I mentioned in my vlog, I'm struggling with focus because last week was my birthday, and excuse me, last week was my birthday, and I was pretty excited about some other things aside from my birthday. So it went well, and also my trades, the performance of my trades was also cool. The only thing that disappointed me last week was USD. I don't know. I think most people, most traders, especially the big boys, were still feeling hyped up regarding USD. I'm still trying to understand why USD continued to go up, even though it's already reached the current resistance level in its daily chart. And not to mention, last Friday, all its economic data were not that great. So I was thinking that maybe the reason why it continued to go up is that we're currently in this what do you call this, in this crossroad wherein we don't know where it's gonna head. If you look at the S&P 500 and also oil, when you look at their charts, there's this looming uncertainty where USD, or where they gonna go up, where if USD, if S&P 500 is gonna continue, is gonna start going up, if the its previous bearishness has already ended and it's bound to go break out on the upside. And if that happens, US dollar will definitely go up as well, or if not, then it's gonna go bounce down. But I think people are waiting for that moment, and I think they are also biased. The sentiment is also biased on the upside when it comes to S&P 500 and USD. And on top of that, when it comes to oil, I think the current sentiment is that if not continue going bearish, or if not drop down to its current support, then at least it's gonna go just ranging in its current range now, like around 52 to 55, around that much, and not even hit 60. So yeah, it really depends on. I think the main driver is going to be the S&P 500 if the investors will be optimistic about that. So yeah, with that said, okay, let's move on to how we performed last week. So one of the pairs that performed well last week was AUD CAD. I was really actually nervous about this one. I thought it might, considering how wiki the candles are back in February 28 and my birthday, March 1. I thought I might get whipsawed here, especially CAD is affected by oil as well, and oil is pretty volatile, at least in the short term. So, but thankfully it went down and hit my target profit at around 934 rather. So sorry, I wish I continued. I wish I went all the way down to 932, but almost 50 pips. Yeah, that's cool. Another pair that went well was Euro GPY. This was the idea last week, and this is how it went. I actually entered pretty late here. Instead of entering a buy stop order at the yellow marking, I moved it up because it started. I think monitoring JPY at that time, how if it's gonna go continue bearish, and so I set up a buy stop order at around 12655 instead, and set up my target at around 1275. So, and it hit, thankfully, and great. Another pair was Euro NZD. Unlike with Euro JPY, here I entered a buy stop order at 1.65, and I mean rather 1.654, and target profit luckily was hit near 1.67, actually around 1.66. I was trying to be conservative at this one, and I just set my target profit at exactly the 61.8 Fibonacci level. So there you go. But it continued going up. I think, I'm not sure if it reached 1.675 by now, but most likely it will. Before, I'm not sure if it's gonna bounce down again if once NZD gains momentum, because I'm pretty. Oh yeah, that's the, now I remember why I set my target profit pretty conservatively, because I'm overall I'm bullish. I'm still bullish with NZD. That's good fundamentals. It's just getting affected by what's happening with Australia, but overall, I mean, New Zealand itself, New Zealand's economy is perfect. It is really great. So I'm fundamentally, I mean, macroeconomic wise, fundamentally, I'm still very bullish when it comes to NZD, and I'm just riding the current Euro rally. So there you go. Still okay. The trade is still okay, even though I could have raised my target profit there higher. So, and then another pair that performed well was GBP AUD. This was the idea last week, and this is how it went out. This is how it went. I set my buy stop order at 1.851 and my target profit at 1.86. Like, oh my god, it just hit, like barely hit. Like, if I raise this higher at like 1.87 500, there's a possibility that it won't hit my target profit. And I think, I'm not sure if it went down already, like way down to 1.84 right now, but yeah, that's what I'm worried about, because GBP overall, although people are so hyped up, the sentiment is currently biased on a what do you call this? A no hard Brexit. Call that no deal, no hard. What am I talking about? About the UK not getting a no deal Brexit. They're pretty optimistic that the Eurozone, the EU is gonna allow them to negotiate some more and delay. And actually, EU is also in favor of delaying the Brexit, because delayed Brexit still remains. So there you go. So that's positive on GBP, but on a grander scale of things, I'm overall bearish when it comes to GBP. But at least in the short term, I'm gonna I'm gonna cash in on the bullishness of GBP. But however, still really highly cautious, because it's not aligned with my overall macroeconomic bias. So there you go. And then the last one that went well last week was GBP JPY. This was the idea last week, and this is how it went. I know that I set up my target profit way high at 150, and I am still continue at least as long as the GBP isn't losing its current bullish momentum, then I'm still gonna continue this. I closed this pair. I manually closed it at 1.47, but I know 1.4713, and if the momentum continues, especially after the London Open, 1 hour after the London Open, I just gonna get confirmation from the big boys, then I'll just continue being bullish about this pair and set my target there at 150. So there you go. And then let's move on to the pairs that didn't quite perform well. So this one, I'm just gonna show this one. Although my buy stop order wasn't hit here in gold, but I think this just mirrors how optimistic people were when it comes to USD, and that affected XAUSD, gold, inversely. So, but overall, I'm still bullish when it comes to gold. Having said that, before that, let's talk about Euro CHF first. Unlike with other Euro pairs, this one, it didn't go up to my 1.4 14,100 target profit. I think it's because I actually entered here late, pretty late. I should have entered at around 1.35. So, but that's all right. I think its current resistance is around 1.14 or near that zone. So yeah, it's pretty understandable. I entered pretty late here. And the other one is Euro USD. Well, it's understandable because USD people are bullish overall in Euro USD. I could have gained a few pips at around 1.14200 if I set my target profit there, but that's alright because just 30 pips lost. Yeah, that's alright. My performance last week. The gains that I earned last week pretty much still offset the losses that I incurred in last week's performance. Another trade that didn't perform well last week was obviously USD JPY. I was thinking that it's gonna start bouncing down, but it didn't. USD continued going up, and so yeah, I lost pretty much big pips there, 61 pips, but that's alright. So anyway, I think I'm gonna starting next week. I'll be more cautious when trading USD. I'm gonna wait for further confirmation before shorting USD. But overall, I'm still bearish when it comes to USD. So having said that, let's move on to this week's trading ideas.